This is Jim Minion from Two Loose Screws. I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It is the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about only the most important barbecue and grilling items that are happening in the industry today. Still to come on this show this evening, Susie and perhaps a Todd Bulloch sighting, heygrillhey.com. Say good evening to those of you watching the show tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can watch on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show, where we have a new YouTube poll question of the week. And we're asking everybody this question, including all guests. Who's older? Starting quarterback, at least for week one of the Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco, former Super Bowl winner, by the way, or current embedded correspondent from Utah, Rusty Monson, who is older? And currently 52% of you are saying that Joe Flacco is older than Rusty Monson. And again, that was a runaway of Joe Flacco being older than Rusty Monson. At one point, it was tipping the scales plus 70% in Joe's favor. And I believe Rusty was running as high as 29% at that point, but Rusty has made up 21% of that. And we are almost at a dead even. Everybody knows there's nothing more that I like than a 50-50 split at the end of the show on the YouTube poll question of the week. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, episode 396, 4 away from 400. Taking you back to August 26th of 2008. And this week we're featuring the guy who kicked off the show this evening, Steven Raichlen, and this time he was making his very first appearance on the Barbecue Central Show in its live format, because remember, the show went from podcast only. It was originally founded back in 2006, February 7th. No, not February 7th. I don't know when the hell the podcast started, but the year was 2006. And he was interviewed there for the very first time ever on the podcast. But then when we went to the live show February 7th of 2008, he joined the show for the very first time in the live format. So we talked about his interest in live fire cooking at that point, how he got into it. And what I really think is interesting to hear is what Steven was talking about and finding most important now 17 years ago versus what best practices are and what people feel are the best things are to do in 2025. Some things similar, some things not so much, some things not at all. But back in 2008, it was a different time. Again, 17 years ago, almost to the day. We're a week shy of 17 years ago, me interviewing Steven Raichlen for the first time on the live Barbecue Central show. 17 years? I've been doing the show longer than I've been at my job by like a lot. Lastly, and this is all about me, but Christ. When you listen to this show and anything in 2008, like 2009, maybe 2010, I'm asking myself openly, why do I sound like that? I don't like the way I sound for the first few years of this show live. I think I sounded better in the podcast form. Not sure what I was using from an equipment standpoint back then, but there was a much more nasally sounding Greg Rempe at that point. To me, a bit off-putting. However, you may not share the same viewpoint as me, which is fine as well. You might find the nasally sound on-putting instead of me finding it off-putting. Who knows? You can subscribe to the show by visiting the website, thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to hear a past guest or segment that you feel has been lost in the archives, you can email John and let him know what you would like to hear. So his email is John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com, and let him know what you would like to hear. He'll do his best to meet your needs. Chris in Michigan writing in. Greg, hello. I figured that you wouldn't mind a little positive feedback on the show. The recent Embedded Correspondence podcast had me laughing out loud. Sam, the cooking guy, brings the shit-talking to a new level. He makes a good catalyst for trash talking amongst all of you. We need more of it, and him as a fifth correspondent or whatever works would be great stuff. Thanks again for the free weekly entertainment. Regards, Chris. Chris, thank you for writing in. Yeah, I don't think Sam is going to be in for a monthly appearance. He's already doing a monthly appearance first Tuesday of the month, 10:14 Eastern. I don't think I want to back him up a week and say, would you mind sitting in for a whole hour before you do that other regular segment a week later? Plus, he's busy, famous. I would never want to overstep my ask of his attendance on the show. Like, no way would I ever want to do that. And by the way, it does appear that when Sam is put in a situation where there are other panel members, regardless, somehow Traeger's name is brought up, and I cannot say anything at all other than just answering the question. And like what happened last month where Rashid Phillips decided to go on a 3-minute rant against Traeger, and as he put the period exclamation point on the end of that rant, Sam picked it up and like boomeranged it on me. Like I was the one that said anything. I didn't say anything. Somehow I'm catching Sam the cooking guy / Traeger strays all over the place. It was like a drive-by number of strays. And I didn't say anything about anything. I just said their stock wouldn't get to $3 by the end of the year because that was the question. That was all I said. Meanwhile, Rashid is talking about this and talking about that, and this is good, and this is bad, and this is the worst. And then I'm eating strays. I didn't like that very much. But I agree. Sam certainly adds to the conversation and the fun and frivolity of this show. All right. Let's go ahead and make time for Susie Bulloch from Hey Girl Hey. Before we do that, let's give a quick mention to our pals Sterling Ball and the gang over at Big Papa Smokers. Whether you're chasing a grand championship or just aiming to impress your friends and neighbors in the backyard cookouts, Big Papa Smokers has the rubs that deliver the results, trusted by competition pros and weekend grillers like me. The award-winning lineup like Sweet Money, Competition Brisket and Steak, Cash Cow, Cattle Prod. Might I add a Desert Gold on your veggies? They've also, for a limited time, brought back a fan favorite, Cucaracha, for a fiery kick that turns up the heat on any cook. Barbecue Show listeners, here's one for you. Use promo code BBQCentral25 at checkout for free ground shipping, yes, now through Halloween. So we got a couple months left. But now through October 31st of 2025, you buy stuff from BigPapaSmokers.com, and then you use promo code BBQCentral25 at checkout, and you get free shipping. I like free shipping. That's free money. Don't tempt me with a good time. We're back with Susie Bulloch and maybe a Triple T sighting as well. Stand by. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. Nope. Leading off the second hour is the creator of the Hey Grill Hey brand. She is a quarterly guest here on the show, of course. Has been for a number of years, which we certainly appreciate. Susie Bulloch. Hey, Susie.
Hi.
No taste test Todd tonight?
Oh, he's right here. He's camera shy.
All right. I have questions.
I'm sure he'll
for
poke
him.
his head
I have
around.
questions for him specific.
Greg has questions for you specifically.
A little later, but we can wave him in as we need. How about that? So, all right.
I told him you would want him to be here, and he said no.
Of course.
Greg doesn't want me here.
I always love Todd. Triple T is like my brother from another mother. Yeah. So, yeah, I have specific questions for Todd coming up here. All right, so we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. Hi, Todd. And Todd, we'll start with you since you just popped in. Who's older, Week 1 starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco, or Barbecue Central Show's embedded correspondent from your home state of Utah, Rusty Monson?
Joe Flacco.
Right. Susie, who's older, Joe or Rusty?
Rusty.
Rusty, all right. Currently, 48% of you are saying that Rusty is older. I can't give you the full answers until we're at the end of the segment here, just in case we have some stragglers coming in here. But Joe Flacco is currently taking it at 52%, but we're very tight. Joe was 70 to 72 or 73 to 29 in hour number 1 of the show, but it has worked its way back to almost dead even as we run through the show here. All right, so Susie, how's that book thing coming along?
Book is in third round of edits. So we're in final editing, copy editing only. Design is completely finished. Photos are done. We'll be sending it to print probably in the next month. We were going to try and shoot for a kind of Christmas launch, but I might actually hold off and wait until the spring. I've been talking to Weber, and we're talking about doing a collaborative event, kind of a women-focused grilling event, and I might launch Cookbook in conjunction with that big in-person event, which would be very fun.
Are they going to try and get you to write one of their cookbooks too, like Jamie Proviance used to?
I don't know. I don't know if they're still doing cookbooks, but mine is done.
All right, pop quiz. Susie, be honest.
Yes.
You know who Jamie Proviance is?
Yes, I actually have a couple of those cookbooks.
Right, thank God. Todd, do you know Jamie?
Nope.
Come on!
You think Todd reads books? Come on.
Todd, beat it. All right, so can we do a review of the Hey Grill Hey? I call them hot mitts. What's the proper name?
Hot meat gloves.
Pitmaster gloves, but hot mitts is nice.
Right, hot mitts.
I would actually truly love to hear your thoughts because, as you know, this was round 1 of gloves.
Yes.
And it took us a while to develop them, but we are not opposed to, revisions. We're already planning on introducing a 3XL because people want bigger sizes. So I would love your feedback.
You have like NBA players buying Hey Grill Hey 3XL?
But, hey, man, a 3XL is a barbecue medium, okay?
Well, I know in shirt sizes, but I mean, gloves are not shirts. All right, so I have critical feedback. So let's start with the good. Everything that you said was great with these gloves are definitely great with these gloves. Dexterity is there. I'm not moving glowing red charcoals around for 5 or 10 minutes at a time in these things. You told me that's not what it's for. Grab a grill grate, no problem. I can move cookie sheets in and out of my oven in the house, no problem, as you had mentioned. So, and then pulling or handling meat, that sounds weird, doing all that stuff, no problem, as you said. Critical feedback.
Yes.
They're a bitch to get off. How do we fix that? How do we fix it?
Do you want to know what I do?
Yes, I need to know.
Grab the fingertips. Just right on the fingertips and pull them straight off.
But so what I find is, like a little snug to get in. Okay, I'm not worried about that. But when I go to pull, okay, so that worked. I think, so what I think is not occurring now because I'm in my basement and it's always freezing down here. It's when I'm outside and I have my hands in the hot meat or around the hot fire, my hands will condensate.
Yeah.
So when I go to pull them off, I feel like the lining is following my hands out. So I don't know if I need a little more room. And I have so they're not fat hands, but I have large hands, like bigger than most everyday average male hands. I could palm a basketball in the 9th grade. So I sized up. I think we all agreed I went like extra large or whatever it was. So I feel like I just need a skosh more room in the glove.
Okay.
And I don't know how we'd accommodate just me to make me happy 100%.
No, you're not. I think if you look at all of our reviews across the board, the number one reason we don't have a 5-star rating is sizing. And I think, I don't know, man. Like I know what you're saying because I have the same problems, but I just adapt and I found ways to, you know, slowly pull off one finger at a time and then get them off so it doesn't happen.
I think most people are used to a nitrile, right? Where you just grab the end and rip it off.
Yeah.
At the wrist.
Yes.
And they just don't come off that easily that way because, like you said, the wrist is a little bit tighter, which they're positives and negatives. But yeah, that's how I get them off. I grab the tips and pull. Sometimes I bite them and pull. Don't tell my dentist.
How do you even attempt to size gloves? I mean, I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it. So everybody's different, literally by fractions. So how do you get...
There are bagillions of hand sizes. The best that we could come up with that would be the most user-friendly was measuring palm width. Obviously, everybody's finger lengths are different, but if you can kind of nail the width, we thought that would be the best way to help people get the most accurate sizing. Obviously, there's variation. So we did put a disclaimer on the size guide. If you feel like you might be in between sizes or you want a little bit more ease in getting them on or off, go ahead and size up. It's a great idea. I feel like it's easier to be a little bit bigger in the sizing than it is to be too small. But we do offer resizing. So if you get it and you want to change sizes, just let us know. Ship them back. We'll ship you a new size. It's not a problem. But yeah, and one thing that we did not account for was hand width. And like you said, it's gloves, it's not shirts, but there are a lot of people with thicker palms. So the width might work, but the thickness, not so much. So that's why we're, introducing a 3XL and kind of encouraging, your hands, you have big hands. Let's get you a size up. It's all right.
The thing is the forms are already made. So, and for us to make a new mold for a thicker wrist or a thicker hand, I mean, we're talking easily 6 figures just to make the molds.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's something a small business like us just can't do. So it's kind of just it is what it is. And if you hate them, send them back and we'll give you your money back. It's fine.
But I feel like we can accommodate probably 90% of hand sizes.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you said there were molds involved, I've been in industry before where molds are involved, not necessarily just in gloves, but other stuff. And you talk about I broke a mold or I got to build a mold or buy a new mold. And, the accountant starts to have a heart attack. Well, so that would be Todd. So,
that's
that follows
Todd.
suit.
We learned so much. Like I said, this was our first round of having any product that wasn't consumable product, right? Or a white labeled existing product. We crafted these kind of from the ground up and really built and tailored what we wanted the product to be. And we learned so much. I don't think you're ever going to come out with a product that is perfect. There's always going to be pitfalls and there's always going to be feedback, and we love it. So every piece of feedback that we get, I think, helps us to educate our customer base more, educate people on how to use them more, and help us move toward making, a better product. Because I think they're great gloves and they're doing really well. We have already sold about 13,000 gloves.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And we just, we're expecting our second shipment to come in any day. And then we're going to be adding our 3XLs. And so, yeah, we're changing how the packaging is put together for round 2. So this is a work in progress as we develop a new product for the barbecue market that we think is great.
The issue with the inside coming out was thought of. And so if you feel on your gloves in between the fingers, there is They are, it's like the factory's proprietary way that they did it. They wouldn't even tell us how they did it, which is, they're just being weird. But there is some kind of adhesion there that
They're bonded.
They're bonded. So if it rips out, that's not supposed to, and something went wrong. So
Interesting. I love learning and growing with you guys. It's so great.
I mean, every time we come on here, it's like, what weird thing are you doing now? And I'm like, well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Something. Always something.
If you're not changing, you're dying. So, I mean, bringing new stuff is great. All right, Todd, so this is your part of the interview. So you were at the ACE show in Chicago last week. And for those that don't know about the show, I talked very high level with Wes Wright about it last segment. By the way, Susie, you're a champion. Like, you were way in early on sitting in on the show. So I apologize if, it was like boring as you sat in for that extra half an hour. But
no, I feel like I was prepared for all of the questions.
Okay.
Usually I'm not.
Good. For those that don't know, Todd, what is the ACE show and what's the scope of what they're looking to do? And then why are you going specifically?
So Ace Hardwares are all independently owned. There might be some corporate owned, so don't quote me on that. But and if you get a relationship, if you have a product and you get a relationship with the buyer over that category, which we got a relationship with, her name's Ashley. She's lovely and amazing. She works for Ace Corporate, and she's over the grilling consumables category specifically. You have to pitch yourself in and get in front of the buyer. They have to approve you, and then you're in the warehouse system they have these warehouses called RSC warehouses. I don't even know what that stands for, and I probably should. But that does not guarantee that you're on an Ace Hardware shelf. You then have to convince the buyers, category managers, and store owners to put your product on their shelf. So these semi-annual ACE conventions, there's one in the spring and one in the fall. If you're in the warehouses, in order to stay in the warehouses, you're required to attend at least one a year. And you get a booth space, which you have to pay for. It's a few $1,000s for a booth space. And then people are walking by and they have a specific color on their badge. And this year it was blue. And you just like, hey, how's it going? Have you heard of Hey Grill Hey? And you're just selling and pitching and having them sample, telling them about the brand. And then you have little like UPC barcodes they can scan to order the show special right there on the spot. And yeah, I don't know. It feels like a pretty big deal to be able to be there and to get the relationships with these. That's my favorite thing, was just to talk to all the store owners, hear about the history of their store, how long they've been there, see the legacy they're building, and all the opportunities that ACE gives them to be entrepreneurs and own their own store. It's just really cool. So it's a huge convention. I mean, you're talking everything from the 5-hour energies that you see at the checkout stand to nails and screws and everything barbecue, and it's crazy.
Plus, there's like everybody that you guys already know that are probably competing for shelf space that you're competing for.
Yes. Yeah. So we're all right there together. I mean, Heath Riles, Meet Mitch, Meet Church. I mean, you name it. Like they're there. Cosmo, Blues Hog, and we're all best friends. And we're all there to everyone. This is the amazing thing about the barbecue community is I had multiple people ask me, like, you're here amongst these competitors and you guys are acting like you're best friends. Like, shouldn't you like hate each other? And we're like, no, like, that's not how the barbecue community works. Like, we share trade secrets and we pitch each other and we hold each other up on our shoulders and we're there for each other, and that's what really sets us apart in our industry.
How do you feel from a success standpoint that goes for Hey Grill Hey there?
So this was our third year there. And I feel like we've gained a lot of traction. So there's 3,000 to 4,000 ACE stores, and we're probably in less than 1,000 right now. But it takes a good 5 to 10 years to really build into the system to where you're on a majority of shelves. And that takes proof that you can move stuff off the shelf. People are coming in to buy it and you're replenishing. So that's the work. Getting on the shelf is hard work, but getting off the shelf in a sales factor is the most difficult part. But I feel like this year a lot of people recognized us. They already had our stuff, and the people that didn't, we landed a lot. There's a lot of groups that own 20, 40, 50, 250 stores, and we met a lot of those bigger groups this time. They're inviting us out to their own little smaller functions that they have with just their group of stores. So I feel like we're really getting a foothold, and it was exciting. It felt really good this time.
Do you like lead in also with, oh, by the way, if you want me or Susie to come out to Willowick, Ohio or Nowhere, Indiana and do like a cooking thing? Like, do you do that or do you not?
There's
offer
no
that
way.
Yeah.
We have a demo kit that we send out to dealers with like recipe cards and sample products that they can use if they want to demo in store. So
we even offer to send out like door prizes. Like,
yeah, we support demos a lot, but there's thousands of stores and 52 weeks in a year. And my kids are only kids for about 9 more of those.
Yeah.
So
less with my oldest.
the biggest problem is they're not paying us to come out there. They're like, we carry your stuff, so come do this demo. So we're going to spend anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 to go out there when they're ordering a few $100s worth of our stuff once a year, maybe. Like, it just doesn't make sense economically.
So yeah, we try to support dealers where we can, but I don't think it's humanly possible to attend every store event.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it'd be fun.
So
maybe when we're retired.
Do you go to the second show then too, or just this one?
This year we went to 2. The spring show was this the fall show?
Yeah.
The spring show, they did an outdoor cooking element in Chicago that was really fun. So we did samples and demos in person, and that was cool because we were able to do a demo and actually feed those store owners over the course of a couple days. That was great.
All right, so there was I don't know if it was an Instagram story or something that I just recently saw. So you were running video on a jar of preserves or whatever it was, and you're like, hey, the font and the metallic spray on this jar looks great, and we're looking at maybe getting in some new products and then, labeling and all that other stuff. And this is something that is resonating with me at this point. So what new products are you looking to bring out?
Okay, so we have 2 products that we're launching on Labor Day in conjunction with a Labor Day sale that we're running on our rubs. Todd actually developed this product with Brandon. If people are familiar with the YouTube channel, Todd and Brandon have been on there a lot. Brandon did all of the product reviews for our website, and him and Todd are like the Texas brisket nerds on the Hey Grill Hey team. I'm like, I'll eat brisket anyway. I'll eat it Kansas City style, thin sliced. I'll eat it chopped. I'll eat it sliced Texas style. I just like it. But these guys are the real connoisseurs of a Texas style. They're very, stuffy. I mean, I don't want to call them snobs, but I do internally.
Todd doesn't seem to care, by the way.
He's not sad. No, because snobs don't care that they're snobs.
That's right.
How it works.
That's right.
But they have developed a rub. We're calling it Beefy Sprinkles. Specifically for a Texas style barbecue, and it's salt and pepper plus. It has actually some vinegar powder for some high umami to offset some of the fat and heaviness that you get in a brisket that almost you kind of get when you do a mustard binder without the mustard binder.
Yep.
It also has
ground mustard too.
And some ground mustard. What else is in there? Soy powder?
Soy sauce powder.
Soy sauce powder for more umami. So it's a really
we wanted to avoid MSG, but get that.
It's a pepper heavy, no MSG, but lots of umami. So that one is launching on September 1st. And I did a limited release lemon pepper with ThermalWorks, and we only did 200 bottles. And everybody that got it loved it. It was really popular. So we're bringing that one back as a lemon pepper. So both of those are launching. The Beefy Sprinkles label is actually going to be incredibly fun. And then the new labels that I was talking about, we're going through kind of a full product redesign with the intent of rolling out a couple of new products, not exclusively but with the intent of scaling to national grocery. Right now, for the past couple of years, we've been really focused on direct consumer, specialty, small barbecue shops, hardware, and the bigger bottle sizes, the kind of unique flavor profiles that we have in apple jalapeno are incredibly well suited for specialty. But kind of like what I did when I started Hey Grill Hey 10 years ago. I looked around and said, there aren't a lot of ladies on the internet talking about barbecue. When I walk into a grocery store and look at the grocery store shelves, I say, oh, there aren't any ladies selling barbecue products on the grocery store shelves. It's Ray and Rufus and Guy and G. Hughes and Stubbs, and none of those are bad guys, but there aren't any gals.
Yeah.
And I feel like I make a really mean barbecue sauce and some really great seasoning blends. So that's kind of our next big push, and it is going to require some brainstorming to be able to make labels that stand out at a national grocery level that appeal to a slightly different type of consumer. Specialty buyers are awesome. They're usually hobbyists. They get barbecue, they know ingredients, and they care about slightly different things than the grocery store consumer. So it's been a really fun experiment for me to really look at the grocery store buyer and the average barbecue sauce buyer in the US. Like, what are we looking for and what are we buying? And why isn't anyone making sauce that appeals to the person who's buying it the most, which is typically moms in the grocery store aisle? So I think I have a really unique ability to speak to women buying barbecue sauce. And I'm probably not going to call any of it hogs. There's not going to be a hog on the label anywhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna back you up on the barbecue rub question here just for a second. You made it a point to say no MSG. Why not? Let's just put it in. Let's get over it.
We're not opposed to MSG. However, a lot of the products that we utilize are catered to more beginner barbecue cooks. I would say that's kind of who our brand resonates with, is people who they find us because they're looking up recipes, they're looking up instructions, they're looking for how-to on the internet. And we've talked about this before. Those are kind of our people.
Yeah.
A lot of beginner cooks, especially in seasoning blends, competition cooks layer, right? They'll use a rub with MSG and it's a smaller portion. Home cooks have a tendency to overuse MSG when it's in a seasoning blend, especially as beginners. So I don't have anything against MSG. I eat it in a great many amount of foods. So there are multiple reasons. And one of them is there's a lot of education, I think, that goes into teaching somebody how to use a rub with MSG in it. And competition cooks will teach a class. They'll tell you all about it. They'll tell you how to utilize this rub with MSG and how to layer flavors and build profiles. I'm not doing that with my consumer. I want them to be able to use it out of the bottle and not overwhelm ribeye. I want them to be able to kind of walk away with going, oh, that was really good, and I wanted to keep eating it.
And for Brandon and I personally, and I know Susie feels this way too, is honestly for me, I can tell immediately if there's MSG in a rub. I don't even have to look at the label, and I just don't enjoy the experience of it. So we just wanted to create the same type of umami experience that just isn't using it. It's just a different flavor. It's a different flavor profile. Yeah.
Are we cooking chicken thighs raw?
Are we cooking them wrong?
Wrong? Yeah.
Potentially.
Did you do a post about everybody's cooking chicken thighs wrong or something like that?
I said you might be cooking your chicken thighs wrong.
Oh, so when do I know if I am?
A lot of the advice that we get is standardized from the FDA, right? Cook chicken to 165. Chicken thighs at 165 are kind of stringy and not very delicious.
Isn't chicken thighs 180?
I'll hit like 175 to 180. That's my favorite because I think it's the perfect balance of retaining moisture, but also getting some of that tighter connective tissue to break down and give you a more like kind of soft bite through chicken. But comp cooks are taking them up to 195, 200 because they really want them to fall off the bone and almost give you like that shredded chicken melt in your mouth experience. So in my post that I did, I talked about the different cooking temperatures and what the result would be. Similar to ribs or a brisket or a chuck roast, different temperatures yield different results. And to me, it's all about preference. If you want fall off the bone ribs, here's how to get them. If you want fall off the bone chicken, here's the temperature you want to shoot for. If you're cooking it to 165 and you think they're stringy and kind of chewy and you don't enjoy it, there's a reason.
Yeah, I like 205. I'm a crazy man.
Yeah
I go way
I don't
past
think it's crazy. It's just a preference.
That's right. Some people think it's crazy in this house. All right, so speaking of crazy, Susie, two things that I never thought would come together. Mozzarella stick, barbecue rib, and yet, much like a Skrillex and Justin Bieber mashup, these two find their way together in one of your posts. Why?
Yes. Ribzarella.
Why exactly?
Why?
I see a T-shirt.
So, okay.
Ribzarella.
Ribzarella sticks.
Yes.
All right. So there's a lot of backstory to this. Number one, Todd has been obsessed with the concept of a mozzarella truck or a mozzarella stick food truck for like a year. Just like various breadings, various toppings. You could do like a buffalo mozzarella stick situation. You could do taco I can't even say mozzarella sticks anymore. Mozzarella sticks. Anyway, so there's been a lot of discussion in our life about mozzarella sticks. So that probably is what started this whole thing.
Wow.
And then we were at
What's
a
the name
meeting.
of it? Hotzarella?
Hotzarella is what he wants to name his food truck.
Hotzarella.
Yeah.
That could be a T-shirt too.
I know that could be a T-shirt too.
With an arrow pointing up. Hotzarella.
Yeah.
That's right.
So then we're talking about this, and Brandon says, have you actually made mozzarella sticks with the wing batter? Because they're awesome. And I said, oh my gosh, no. I've breaded and fried so many other things, but not mozzarella sticks. And then I don't know how it happened. But at some point, the ribs became the vessel, became the coating for the mozzarella stick.
Wow.
Because you push out the bone, and it creates a little pocket.
Uh-oh. Matzo pocket.
Anyway, so then we made a little meat pocket and we shoved the cheese in there and then we deep fried them in the batter. And it was the wildest. It was like.
That's like Super Bowl party food.
It was Super Bowl party food. It was like people were commenting like, this is what I would eat when I had the munchies. Like, this is the type of food you want at 12:30. You know what I mean? You just really want some fall off the bone ribs stuffed with a cheese stick, battered and fried with the brown sugar buffalo sauce.
You're deep frying the rib too?
Yes.
Wow.
The mozzarella stick goes into the cavity that the bone left behind.
Battered rib.
And then you cut it into individual ribs, batter it.
Holy God.
And fry it. But the battered and fried party rib idea came from Nate Benson, who uses our batter he turns in smoke fried ribs at comps.
Really?
SCA comps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can get away with
Like
it.
he's never winning a rib contest.
Not there, no. But anyway, I feel like it was just like this Frankenstein hybrid mashup of Todd's food truck, smoke fried party ribs, and too much time on our hands. I don't know. But
wow. Everybody also enjoys their first heart attack, I would assume, as we're done doing that.
I only ate a half of one and I was done.
Yeah. Yeah. The comments on those ones were actually, people were excited about that one. The comments that people were really not excited about is and I feel like I've heard people talk about like the grilled donut burgers or like a donut bun smash burger, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, what if I made a donut bun barbecue sandwich? So we grilled the donuts and then I loaded them up with thin sliced brisket, smoked turkey breast, and then my maple bourbon sauce. And they were so delicious. I was actually kind of disgusted with myself at how much I enjoyed eating that sandwich. Like, I was like, this might just be gimmicky, because sometimes sweet and savory feels like a gimmick.
Yeah.
But I just genuinely loved it so much I couldn't stop eating it. It was gluttony in its purest form. But I posted that on our Facebook page, and I think I had 20 comments of people just ravaging me. I caused diabetes in America.
Way to go,
giving people
Susie.
heart disease. As a cook and an influencer, it is my personal and professional obligation to only show healthy food options for people instead of encouraging the
barbecue?
obesity epidemic that is plaguing our country. Wow. It was honestly, our whole team was like, where did these people come from? It was the most slanderous
You were taking the
selection
task.
of comments I've received in so long.
Yeah. You were taken to task.
Facebook people.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I only wish I could get 20 people hating on me. I mean, that would be like life goal, of course. But, still, it's just echo chamber for me. We love you. Your show's great, whatever.
Yeah.
Todd, if we go back to the heart attack rib just for a second, if you opened your mozzarella and that's on the menu, what are you charging me for? What did you call it? What's the name of that one?
Ribzarella sticks.
Ribzarella. What are you charging?
Someone DM'd me and said pulled hamstrings is what I should call it.
We did ask people for ideas to name it. We had some pretty funny ones.
I don't know, like a rack of ribs is $10 in cost, and you'd only like if there were 3 of them,
you could only eat 3 max.
Yeah, it'd probably be like $10 to $12, I bet.
Yeah, I'd say $9.99 for 3 ribs.
Interesting. And they're baby back ribs, or are they spares?
You could do baby backs or spares. I did baby backs just because I feel like throughout the whole rack, the bones are more consistent. On spare ribs, you kind of tail off towards the end and you have more of the collagen at the top.
Yep. And will the ribs pop out easier on baby backs, or is it the same on both of them?
I mean, if you cook them, they'll pop out on both. But I chose baby backs because it was consistent.
Yep.
The ribs were consistent from end to end, so it was easier for me to make each rib into a stick.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that price. So $10 for 3. I'd probably try that. Why not?
I'd have to give a really nice side salad, with a fat-free vinaigrette on it.
Yeah,
just celery. Yeah. Just eat some celery with this.
Yes, crudité on the side, of course.
Yeah. Green juice upchart, $4 for green juice shot. Wheatgrass.
Susie, what's one food rule that you either believe in or you don't believe in that everybody else holds as gospel?
Oh my gosh, I feel like we've talked about a few. Even in my cookbook, I have Todd's ribs and my ribs. I think in barbecue, there's a lot of gatekeeping. But we've talked about this before. But just people say you have to do it this way, whether it's tradition, whether it's culture. And I think there's a lot of emotion and history tied to that. But I also know that, sometimes we wouldn't have ribzarella sticks if there wasn't innovation. You know, if we didn't play around with our food, if we didn't make it fun. One of my core beliefs is that barbecue should be fun. None of us are in barbecue because, we're not corporate accountants. We're barbecue people. This is the work we do because we love it so much and we want it to be fun. And so I'm all about, kind of breaking a lot of the food rules that people get very tied to and very married to.
What do you want to do, right? Like it's like you don't need a mustard binder. The seasoning will just stick. I don't need one, but I want one. Like why does it matter if I want a mustard binder? Why are you fighting me with this? Anyway.
Todd.
I will die on the 3-2-1 ribs hill also.
Like you believe in that?
Yes, and everyone can say whatever garbage they want about it, and that is okay. That is in my cookbook. Todd does not like it. He can have his 5-hour spare ribs with salt and pepper. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm going to cook my 3-2-1 ribs with candy, sugar, butter, honey, braisy, juice, and I'm going to glaze the crap out of them, and I'm going to let them get tacky.
Butter, honey, braise. Oh, my God.
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's a kitty.
Get out of here.
It's not a kitty.
It's my show.
Never mind.
Yeah.
But listen, even after a decade in barbecue and knowing how I'm supposed to cook ribs and how ribs are supposed to be done, I still love sticky, sweet, fall off the bone ribs.
3-2-1 is still a major. That's still a major gospel that people follow. I think
it's a great place to start, dude. Because you're going to get ribs that you're familiar with eating. And if you can have a successful rib cook on your first time and it makes something that you're familiar with, that you probably grew up on, that you enjoyed, amazing. Maybe a year down the road, you'll be like, I don't even know why I ever liked that. I only want salt, pepper, oak wood smoke for 5 hours. Fabulous. That's great. But I do feel like 3-2-1 ribs are such a good stepping stone for people. and I still really like them. And if I'm making ribs for a crowd, I will still do 3, 2, 1 ribs because I know that's going to please 9 out of 10 of my guests. And the one that's going to be picky is Todd, and he has learned to deal with it.
That's false, dude. I'll eat 10 of those ribs. You know that.
Of course.
But yeah, so I that's one of the things that I'm like, there's the pendulum of public opinion, and everyone in the last 3 years decided to just take a crap on 3, 2, 1 ribs because it makes them feel superior, like they're so much better and so much smarter and such a great cook and so special because they know 3, 2, 1 ribs are so stupid and overcooked and terrible. And they tell me in every time that I post about 3, 2, 1 ribs,
it's actually more like 2.75.
It's actually, if you want overcooked garbage. But like, so congratulations on your superiority complex. I'm really proud of you that you have moved past 3, 2, 1 ribs.
But please,
please
keep angrily commenting on our post, please.
Yeah, we want the engagement.
Yes.
Like, let people start somewhere and cook what they like. Like, you're not better because you like salt and pepper ribs. You're just not. You're the same. We're all the same. You like what you like. They like what they like, and it's okay.
I have 3 questions left. 2 of these are not from me. I've found these things called pod decks, and they're they look like playing cards, but they have questions on them. So I'm going to ask randomly one of these. Okay. All right, Susie, would you ever pick up a hitchhiker?
No.
No. That's the right answer, by the way.
Todd has. And he got a knife pulled on him.
Yeah, because he was a hitchhiker, Todd. What do you think they're doing?
An actual knife pulled on him.
No, he just was saying, I have this to protect me. And I said, well, you can get out.
Wow.
That's your best protection.
I think he was like low-key threatening you, right?
Yes.
He was trying to see if you were going to pull out a pistol.
Alone. That's fine.
Yeah. All right, Todd. Would you rather take a cold shower for the rest of your life or never get more than 4 hours of sleep at night again ever?
Well, that means that if I don't get 4 hours of sleep, I won't feel refreshed, right?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of a sleep animal you are.
It's you. 4 hours of your sleep.
I can do 4 hours of sleep, but the next night I got to get a good
No,
8.
you can only have 4.
You can never get more than 4,
forever.
or you have to do cold showers for the rest of your life.
I can do cold showers.
Yeah.
I live in the desert, so cold showers are like great.
Yeah. By the way, I agree with you. I will take cold showers because it carves a toughness groove in your brain. I mean, I would like to get more than 4 hours if possible. I haven't in 10 years because of these cats that seem to be more awake at night than they are during the day, but that's my problem.
Almost like they're nocturnal.
Yes, almost like that.
Yeah.
All right,
like that.
Last question. Oh my God, I can't believe we're asking this. This is one that has spawned down for weeks now, but it blew my mind when Jess Pryles originally told me her answer. And then it carried to the following week, and then it carried to the following week, and now I have to figure out where the sane people are in the country. So the hopes and dreams of America are on Susie and Todd Bulloch's shoulders here. Susie,
oh, no.
be honest, don't lie like I know you want it. Have you ever heard of the band Winger?
No.
Right. Todd,
and I would never lie.
Have you ever heard of the band Winger?
Yes, I know I've heard of them, but I couldn't tell you the name of their song. It's like an 80s band, right?
Yes.
Maybe late 70s, early 80s.
80s, hair band. Probably their most popular song is entitled 17, which is, a little improper if you're listening to the lyrics, but that was probably... I think Kip Winger was recently nominated for a Grammy maybe within the last 5 years. So I thought, hey... this is a band everybody's heard of. Jess Pryles and I play a little stupid game at the end of every segment where I say, here's a band between these 2 songs, which one is better? And I ran Winger out, and as soon as I said, okay, Winger's the band, I could see her face just go blank. I was like, well, that's a weird look. Like, does she hate Winger that much? And then I listed the songs, and she's like, hey, I don't even know who the hell Winger is. And I said... wow, this is mind-blowing. She's a hair metal fan, and I don't really care about hair metal myself, but I know Winger. And then the following week, all my guests, Had no idea who Winger was, and half the guests the week after that, no idea who. Steven Reichlin didn't even know who Winger was in hour number 1 of the show, if you can believe it. So we're at least 50-50 here on the Bulloch side of the trail here. So Susie has no idea. Don't bother looking it up. And Todd, don't familiarize yourself. Just be happy that it rang the bell in some instance, I guess. But that's it. What do we?
I grew up on MTV, watching MTV, so I'm sure that's where I saw them
for
at
sure.
some point.
Yeah. Oh yes, no doubt about it. They were definitely on MTV. What are we promoting or wanting to plug up tonight before I let you guys go?
Check out the gloves, man.
Check out the gloves. I'd love to hear your feedback on the gloves. I feel like they're pretty reasonably priced. I think they're great to have in your arsenal. I think they do a lot of amazing things. I think if you're cooking barbecue, they're worth, having a pair around. Our rub sale is Labor Day, and we're kind of sharing a little bit of the story. On the Instagram stories, we shared the labels that I liked at the grocery store. We're really sharing the story of what it looks like to take a small, independently owned brand like ours to a national grocery distribution place. So if that's something that's interesting to you, or you kind of want to know how that works, we'll be sharing some of the behind the scenes of the process of the product packaging design, the stores that we're expanding into, and what that looks like. So that one's kind of fun. I would love to bring people along for the journey. And Greg has a cool shirt, so that's great. And
I was wondering if you noticed.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything?
I was saving it. But yeah, Labor Day, specifically September 1st, we have beefy sprinkles. Todd's beefy sprinkles and lemon pepper are launching. So if you want to try a really umami packed Texas style brisket, beef rub, I would say give it a try. It's our new favorite rub. We even did it on some chicken this weekend on the offset. It was delicious.
All right. So Susie and Todd Bulloch are here, as they are every quarter. HeyGrillHey.com is the website. Give them a follow on socials. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you in 3 months.
It was good to see you. Have
You
a good
too.
day.
All right, take care. Susie and Todd right there. Wow, a lot of great information, a lot of great takes, a lot of great passion, all the great stuff that we've come to know and love with Susie and Todd Bulloch here over the years of them showing up on the show regularly. And if you are interested in following their journey on getting their stuff into the national level retailers, give them a follow. And we'll kind of track it here on the show once a quarter as well. That was one of my questions, but they answered it just through the way we were turning the conversation tonight, so that's great. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Susie and Todd Bulloch for joining us last segment. This portion of the show being brought to you by McAllis Cigars. Step into the world of McAllis Cigars, where each blend is a chapter and a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. The portfolio is a symphony of flavors, each note carefully composed to create an unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. From their traditional lines like Leyenda and Hacienda, Migdalia, to the new color series, black, blue, red, the new purple. By the way, guys, Keith and Ken specifically, you are still getting samples. Just forgive me. Your emails are in my inbox. It is going to happen. Trust me. I'll probably send you some extra stuff. So if you want to try a sample of the purple, make sure you send me an email, greg@thebbqcentralshow.com. In the subject line, put McAuliffe Purple. And then also in the body of that email, make sure that you send me your shipping information, and away we will go from there. So that's how we are living this evening, and we will go ahead and move to get out of here. Oh, wait! Programming note! September 2nd, which is the first Tuesday in September, You probably will not see a live show. However, you will have new-to-you content that will be pre-recorded because there is a huge high-level dinner that is going to be going on for the day job at Peterbilt, and I am not going to be able to miss that as much as I tried to weasel my way out of it for the last 2 days. I do appear to be a linchpin in getting the customer we want to dinner and making that introduction to the owner of our Ohio Peterbilt location, also owner of Ohio Machinery, which is the parent company of all the other sub-companies that are underneath that. So I'm not going to be able to miss that. I don't want to risk having to leave dinner early, although it is a earlier start around 6 o'clock. So chance I could squeeze out of there in time, but I can't rush it. Don't want to leave early. So I will have pre-recorded something. It will have a Malcolm segment. There will be a Sam segment. I believe there's a Mike Lang segment in there as well as we talk about the impending Hartville Hardware Grill Fest that Rasheed Phillips is also going to be at this year, which I'm excited to interact with him live. Diva Q will be there, of course. So that's what's happening September 2nd. Just wanted to pass that along as it came down the pike here earlier today. And now we can go. Now I'm done. All the way back in the first hour, it was a Stephen Reichlin visit. After Stephen, it was a West Wright. Little technical issues there, but we got some good information in through the second half of that interview. And then the second hour, a extended interview with with Todd and Susie Bulloch from Hey Grill Hey, HeyGrillHey.com. We finalized the YouTube poll question of the week. Who's older, Joe Flacco or Rusty Monson? Joe Flacco getting 57% of the vote. Gang, I have to tell you, that is 100% wrong. Rusty Monson at least 7 years older than Joe Flacco, who is a fresh 40. Right from Rusty's mouth, I did ask him before I asked the question tonight, so I didn't look that stupid. Anyway, big show for you next week. We have the embedded correspondence segment, of course, because we are in the fourth Tuesday, amongst others. So, how do I always leave? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, Shabbat!
Hi, this is Jeff Stone of Grandpa's Pride Barbecue from the Panhandle of Florida, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.